A warm welcome. Good evening. Those of you who are watching on our Chaudhary here, and not from home or somewhere in Germany, but I am actually on the Spanish island of Mallorca in the Baleares, and back with another Indian football discussion on all the topics that we can want to and need to speak about when it comes to topics related to Indian football. So once again, warm welcome, those of you, and those of you who haven't, of course, as always, as I say at the start, who might even watch this stream deferred. Um, do leave a like, do leave a share behind, and do support, do subscribe as well. And as always, thanks for your support. As always, it's very, very important for me and for us here who try and do something for the betterment of the game. It is always a challenge. I know it is. It's sometimes not very easy, but we're trying to do whatever we can to try push things in the right direction. It's a challenge as always. And those of you who haven't, as I continue to make daily, regular clips on what's all happening. Did of course earlier today something on what's the focus of the Indian national team going into the friendly against Malaysia. What should be Manono Marcus's focus with the national team and with other things. Aladdin Ajare and his brilliant start at the ISL was a topic yesterday. The day before, a little bit on the injuries and the latest around the team going into the friendly, and 3 days ago, the topic was VR. Is VR needed in Indian football? And to watch the other videos, older videos as well. And as always, thank you for the support. And we will try and see what we speak about today. Throw me your questions, throw me your points, and I'll try and answer as directly, as honestly as possible. And we discuss the topics of Indian football. Of course, India continue to prepare for the game against Malaysia, which is upcoming Monday, and we will be interesting to see how the team goes and prepares itself. Of course, we've been speaking about the AIFF as well. The new pro license course is through, and we've had 12 Indian coaches qualifying for the highest coaching diploma in Asian football. The people who passed the diploma, just to run down the names, Priya PV has become the first ever Indian female coach to achieve that. Arata Izumi, Katano, Pino, Koramangi Singh, Gumperime, Raman Vijayan, Syed Yusufdhar, Shamil C, Shuvendu Panda, Stephen Dias, TG Purushothaman, and Yan Law. So my congratulations also to all of these coaches who've qualified, and and hopefully they can help in the growth and success. Let's see this. Hi, XYZ. As always, the squad picked by Manolo is encouraging. Relieved to see new faces, new blood. Curious Harry, playmaker, Indian Ashish, and all three were talking how all opponents. 99%. I think you want to add something. Ashish, thanks a lot being back. Good to see you. Good to hear you. And also new faces. XYZ. New faces, new blood into the squad. Manolo's job. How all opponents time will be teams with origin players, Malaysian upcoming SAF and Asian Cup qualifiers. I mean that's the topic of origin players is something which is a complicated matter in my opinion, because it is something which is just there. It's not something that we can push out of our discussions. It's a reality at this moment. That you're naming Malaysia as an example. We've spoken about Pakistan, we've spoken about Sri Lanka. We can look at Indonesia, we can look at Thailand, other nations, Vietnam, even Japan, even Korea have done it. The Chinese have done it, or naturalizing foreigners as well. So this is something, the topic of origin players is something which I've been trying to push for now, nearly 24 years. First time, 2001, went to the federation, went to the then secretary. We had a long conversation about the topic, trying to see what can be done, what needs to be done, what can be pushed also from that perspective. And things didn't move the right way. One has to be honest about that. Things could have most probably gone differently. That didn't happen, and we are now where we are, and that's the challenge. And coming back, XYZ, to your topic of those new faces, new blood. These players need to prove themselves that they're worth playing for the national team. They're playing. They're capable of playing, and we've had examples now. A few players who've stepped up, who've moved into the national team. I think my favorite example on that topic surely will be, or is still, Jay Gupta. That I last year felt he wasn't ready for international football, despite, of course, Indian football fans saying and thinking that Jay Gupta should be ready for international football, and I've and that is something that the coach needs to realize and recognize. That's why he's doing these camps. That's why he's working with players. And but again, Manolo, as I've been saying, also very you know um, it's going to be interesting to see how these young players actually step up. That's the big question. Hi Kumar, I'm doing fine. Hi Shumit, I am good. I am in Spain, in Mallorca at the moment over the next 3 days. So therefore, this live from here, from my hotel room. And sure, that's any expectations from the Malaysia match, as I've said, and therefore, if you want, look at the video. What should be the focus? What is the priorities, which I've made, and talk about things. For me, clearly, at this stage, looking at the qualifiers, looking at where we stand, looking at our problems overall, I think my biggest demand, if you would call it that, from the national team is to try and get back to a winning habit, right? So that's something where I say, if you I think how we play, what we play doesn't count. I think the Asian Cup qualifiers also is a question of success rather than talking about our style, right? So yeah, that's the challenge I think that we need to work on. So let's see what happens. Since most likely India would get the 2036 Olympics, I mean, everything looks set. IC wouldn't reject a market like India. The football team in the Olympics, what team will feed? Surely not the current one. Sorry. And with as the way things are going, government wouldn't want an embarrassment in the home Olympics in any sport. It was that you've got X number of points in this, so let me start with the first one. Why, looking at who's set to bid or who are bidding for the Olympics, Qatar set to bid, Turkey set to bid, Mexico set to bid. I'm not sure if Germany is going to bid for the Olympics, but there is conversation about it happening. It's not about the market, and India is not, in the talk of the Olympics. India needs to get itself ready, and we're not. Let's be honest about it. And if you talk about the football team, yeah, it's not only football; it's all sports. We would have to play sports where we perform, showcase ourselves, and that's where I feel there is a problem for the Indian team, and therefore we need to somehow get ourselves ready and set ourselves and sort out ourselves, and yeah, we're not ready for that, and the government, again, if the government doesn't want embarrassment in sports, and when they're talking about the Olympics, that again the government is doing the same mistakes as the AIFF or as the IOA. We're talking about big ticket events, but we're not doing the grassroots. We're not doing youth sports in a way that we need to build. It's a complexity of a topic, and therefore that is something which needs to build itself. But there is the challenge of how do you get there, and so therefore that is something which I feel we need to work quite a bit. And again, the government needs to prove. Again, they've just given LOI. The bid, there is no official bid yet. It's just a letter of intent. So, or letter of interest. So let's wait, see what happens. Another to today's South Korea versus Kuwait match. The gameplay and tactics South Korea are so poor. After having worked as players, they're widening the play instead of overloading with short passes. Kumar, they have a certain way of playing. Their coach wanting that. Again, I didn't watch it, so it's difficult for me to comment. How many overage players were in the 70 team this year? Most probably maximum players were 21, 22. Shantanu, I didn't really bother and look into who is how old. Um, but yes, we will have had overage players in that squad, surely. I read that I League clubs are threatening to boycott the I League for some broadcasting issues or whatever. I have not heard anything. To be very honest, I've not heard anything. So therefore, it's very, very difficult for me to be able to comment on the same. If I don't know something, I can't comment on it. Again, the teams want certain things. Um, you know. So let's see what happens. But yeah, 22nd. It's match day -8 at the moment, so it's in 8 days that the I League is supposed to start on the 22nd. So that's going to be the challenge, I think, for Indian football to be ready, for the AIFF to be ready to organizing the league, and therefore, yeah, it's not an easy one. Let's put it this way and nicely. Whom do you think will win the ISL? Shomit, I think early results, if you look at the teams who played 8 matches, then BFC most probably would be in the mix. On the other side, I think Mohun Bagan and Mumbai City will add into the mix. Yeah, I think those three most likely will decide it amongst themselves. Would be my assumptions at this moment, if you ask me. Yeah, those would be my favorites to do that. Malaysia was lost 3-1 and they played inside a sea. The ground was really worse than last time we played against them. It was raining too. Okay, Mahesh, thanks for the info. Just watched the DPR Korea versus Iran match. I cannot believe how good they are without that external expertise. That professional help the players of DPR look so good. Okay, XYZ. Just saying, but definitely DPR Korea will be an elite Asian side. If they play regularly, they can definitely beat top teams. They have been to a World Cup. I think that should not be forgotten. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, I mean, look at the women's game, right? They just won World Cups in the women's game, so that is something of an achievement for them. And that is, of course, I think, which speaks about what North Korea stands for, right? With despite all the problems, again, with no foreign inputs. I think that's the interesting part in what they do and how they do it. But they're able to do it. But I don't think, again, the system is very rigid, it's an autocratic regime, so therefore, most probably not a model to follow in any sort of way. How many players of South Korea are playing in top European leagues after having so many players? The South Korea team unable to track to Kuwait. Instead, they concede goal and then they score 3. Yeah, but Kumar, saying that they're playing here, they're playing there. There are reasons, whatever, that it doesn't work for you. I think the example was South Korea at the Asian Cup. Look at their results. Look at the way even, Klinsmann and a lot of criticism and then have to leave, and they then restructured the whole thing, right? So that's something. So I'm not sure about it, right? So yeah, they just talent doesn't create something. And South Korea and Japan, I think, are good examples of being amongst the best in Asia, but not being amongst the best in the world. That is something. Of course, one will say Japan beat Germany, beat Spain at the last World Cup, but are they really top class? That's the question that you can have. Can Jitin start as right mid? Shan, yes, he can. I think if you ask me, I would take that risk. I would take that gamble. But again, it's on the coach what he thinks. As I said, if you ask me, last match he tried a 3-man backline. 4-2-3-1 would most probably be the most likely outcome of things. But I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to do it, willing to do it. It's on him, and therefore Yeah, it's a challenge that Manolo and his team will have to fulfill. And at the moment, it's an interesting challenge. It's an interesting discussion to have. What kind of team could he play? Would he play? Because I would not know the kind of team that he is willing and able to play. Yeah, that's something which is there. So, you know, um, it's yeah, be it Chitin, be it others. Very interesting. He's got options in all positions. Is he gonna go conservative in his approach? Is he gonna go, let me risk a few things? That's gonna be an interesting question, I think, for him. So not sure what he's gonna decide, how he's gonna decide, but looking forward to Monday and seeing what team India put out. China just got an important win against Bahrain. The World Cup campaign is still alive for the Chinese. Again, origin players just changed the mention of a team bringing flexibility, adaptability. Yeah, XYZ. Yeah, you know. Do you think we need more foreign coaches in our system? Yeah, 100% at all levels. At the top, we already have them. At the lower end, we don't, right? So that exposes us, our standard, our quality. So therefore, from that perspective, um, if you ask me, I would say surely um, we need them to be able to take the next steps, and that's I think that's the real challenge that I feel and I find us in is are we able to do whatever is needed to take things forward in the right direction? That's the challenge. Um, but again, not easy. Uh, you know, um, so yeah, that's the reality. Australia vs Saudi Arabia match was just a lame encounter. Many chances both sides, but terrible finishing. Aussies cannot finish anything. Lucky for them, Saudi scored in 10 minutes, but offside. Yeah, yeah. Kumar says, I'm happy with Japan, how they play and dominate every team except few top teams in Asia. Yeah, but again, I'm not talking about Asia, I'm talking about world football. Um, and they are, again, in one or two, three matches they can, but are they going to be able to be a team to get into the quarters, into the semis of World Cup? Don't see that happening. High notes to myself. If you had to choose one between Jingan and Anwar, whom would you? Sandesh Jingan any day. Sandesh's leadership. Um, I think Sandesh is some exceptional player, exceptional talent, and I think a player who, if we can have him in the team, if we can utilize him in the team, is of huge value to us. So that should be something that we sort of need to keep in mind. When David Sanga get chance, Shan, he's not a national team as material. I saw him in the derby in Kolkata last month. Had no opportunities against Alberto and Tom Alfred. That kind of player is not international material. I think that is something, at least if you ask me, the question is you're asking me, so that's my opinion. And that such kind of a player is not capable of playing at that level, and that's going to be the challenge that he has. That if he wants to play at that level, he has to be better. And at the moment, he's not, in my opinion, he's not good enough. So that's the challenge that David has. He would have to prove himself week in, week out. And at the moment, as I say, to me, he's not of that level. And yeah, he will have to do. Which big pot one team do you think India can handle, like not park the bus entire game? Iraq, Jordan. Is there any team out of the four pots? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The handling of, so I don't know. Kumar Singh, today Kuwait guys got brilliant goal against South Korea, top class finish. Okay. Malaysia win 3-1 against Laos. So what's your thoughts against India matches? Malaysia will dominate again. New vision to me, we have to focus first of all on our game, settle, sort, and then hope, and then see what we can do. I think that's the challenge in these games, right? So for us, it is very, very clear that Malaysia is going to be a team which will be quite a bit of a challenge. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we can do. To me, that's the first challenge. Yeah. Hi, Blue. News coming out about I-League Association sending AIFF a letter about broadcast. Blue, I find it very interesting because I think I-League clubs, if the info is right, and I know the info is right, that the I-League clubs were actually involved in the whole broadcasting issue, right? So therefore, for me, it's a little weird that we are talking about it in a way saying, hey, listen, you know what, as if the I-League clubs were not involved in it. I don't know where that is coming from, but to me, makes no sense. So therefore, for me, it's something that we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, I think the bigger problem is the stepmother's retreatment of the I-League. But broadcasting, that even a broadcaster's interest to show the I-League, given the circumstances at the moment, that's a positive, I would say. Which teams are part of I-League Association? And again, that's an interesting one, which I don't even know at the moment, right? I remember there were a lot of talks, and I've spoken to a lot of I-League teams, and they said, yeah, our names are being used, but we're not part of it. Yeah. Why those big body center backs seem to be slower than others? Center of gravity, more weight. Notes to myself would be my logic. Hi, Abhishek. What can we say for coming in between the first half of stream of the early substitutes? Sorry, what can we say for coming in between the first half of stream of the early substitute? Could you rephrase your question? Because I am trying to understand it. I'm not getting the point. Sorry for that. Sir, why are players are not sharp in case of football? Oh, Shuman, philosophic question. Um, I don't have an answer to that, to be honest with you. Um, why it is, why it can't be, why it should be. Um, I think, if you ask me, um, you know, um, I go back to when we talk about the basics. We talk about grassroots, we talk about youth football, we talk about coaching, and we talk about exposure. Now, these things are not happening properly. So to me, and if you want to be sharp, you have, especially the match exposure, hours of training. So therefore, that's not there. And if that's not there, how can you get match sharpness? The players sometimes also don't do what they need to do because they sort of let the gameplay go with the foreigners. I think that's another thing, and yeah, let's wait and see what happens. But sharpness is, as you say, Shumon, is a problem with our players. The rating star accreditation system, the rating star accreditation system for academies in India. Reliance got 5 stars, Bangalore 2. On what parameters are they giving the stars? What 5 stars? What promising talent are they producing? It's not about the talent. See, the problem is the misunderstanding of all these sort of ratings and all. But what are they rating? They're not rating the quality of players they're producing. We're talking about infrastructure. We're talking about the qualification of coaches. We're talking about the manpower behind. Again, main thing is infrastructure, manpower. What are you putting in? That is what is rated in this accreditation system, which I remember I was part of when we set up Ranglas Punjab many years back. It was quite difficult in the first year to fulfill. So that's something why certain academies are able to reach 5 star or reach 4 star, certain are 3 star, and then some drop down to 2 or even 1. And yeah, so let's wait and see. Why I want Vibin Napuya midfield can be deep line playmaker, another can progress the ball in the midfield. Kumar, is Vibin ready? That is what he has to prove. I am not 100% sure that he's ready for that. And I don't think will the coach bench Suresh? I'm not sure. Should we be optimistic if we play well against Malaysia but lose clearly? Define play. If you lose clearly, you haven't played well, right? Playing well means to me that you perform on one side and you get some sort of result as well that you want. You know? So that's the challenge. That's the challenge in my opinion. So I would be optimistic if we either win. But again, it's some sort of way. But again, that's the positive because it's about psychology, about how you do it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Malaysia is going to be a tough battle. By seeing today's match against Laos, the Origin players playing in the forward is going to be a great threat. Yeah, Mahesh, who would you start? Apuya, Jigson, Bimon with double pivot with Suresh? I think I start Suresh and Apuya, if you ask me. The problem with the I-League broadcast is I-League team wants Sony Live, but AIFF is going with other OTT app. Yeah, but Sony, I think has only agrees to the broadcast and not to Live. What you are expecting from this match? Akash, good evening. Expecting nothing, right? As I now say, from Indian football at international level, I expect nothing. I am then more happy when we are more successful. I take the example of East Bengal and AFC Challenge League. Didn't expect much, and therefore I'm happy that they qualified for the knockouts. Malaysia has an Origin forward named Sergio Aguero. Should be worried? Should GSS be worried? No, you should never be worried. Sorry, came middle of the stream, 80 minutes. Technically, first half of the stream is not yet complete, so I'm coming as first half subject to the stream. Am I right? You're not coming as a substitute. You're coming as an added player, Abhishek. So let's term it this way because I hope no one is leaving because you've come in. I think it will be a 2-0 defeat for us. Okay, Akash. I would not be able to watch. Okay, Shuman. Our players are lethargic and sluggish on the field. They will not respond as sharp as it is needed when the mistake happens. Okay, Kumar. For Vagabond, Vibin is an amazing player. In this match, Manolo has to try for the goalkeeper department. Vishal K, do you think this is the time we can go for to try new players? New Vision, I actually made a video on that topic a few days ago. Actually, yeah, 7 days ago. Where I asked the question: should Manolo play his best 11 or should he play a 11 where he's trying out things? And whatever he does, I think that's to me is the most important point. Whatever Manolo does, he has to think in the second instance what would the influence be of his decision in regard to March. This is trial and error. Yeah. So therefore, I don't know if he's gonna put Gurpreet on the bench. Yeah, let's see what he does. Because I think he should try his best 11. He needs to get his best 11 to settle down, and he doesn't have a best 11. People who are criticizing Reliance, they should see this list of best academy in India. Reliance is quite serious about Indian football, but they do not have a realistic plan for ISL. I think if you talk about things, there are two things, in my opinion, two things to discuss, Akash. The Reliance Foundation is totally different to FSDL. So the Reliance Foundation, if you see the development they're doing across sports, is something very, very specific and very, very interesting to see. And again, football falls under that. People here in the chats have also been speaking about the Nopang League in Mizoram, but also if you look at Reliance Foundation Young Champs, the most notable player at this moment, most probably, is Nathan Rodriguez, but Mohammad Nemel, Mohammad Sanan, some others, Franklin at Mumbai City, all these guys have been part of that program. So they are serious. So therefore, ISL, FSDL, grassroots, youth development, Reliance Foundation. Not the same entity. Edmund is a number 10 because Brandon really misses his form. Brandon missing his form is a reality, Shine, yes, but Edmund has not played a competitive match. And is he ready? Also, my question is he ready to start a game? Or will maybe the coach think about Farooq Chaudhary in that position because he played it in that last match against Mumbai City for Chennai FC. Hi, Kohli. India collectively has the power and money to do miracles if they want. So I honestly want to know what's stopping us, really. Do we have the power? Do we have the money? Do they have the will? Do we have the desire? I think the will and desire is the question. Money? Potentially, yes. Do we have the power? No, we don't. We need, the inputs, the knowledge. So that's the question. I will not be able to watch the game. It's breaking my heart. Yeah, Shuman, sometimes these happens, right? Apuya always had Jahu or Vanif to take care, but Mombang has been suffering as solo deep line playing playmaker. I don't think he's been suffering. Did you not watch the last 2-3 matches with Anil Thapa? I think he's settled down. He's slowly settled down in Mombanga. Who's a future cam or fast food? Let's not even talk about the future. Let's talk about the present. Some of you are, we future can be XYZ, right? Because the problem is that at this stage, when we talk about the future, we're mixing up things, right? So therefore, very difficult to say who's going to be whoever in regard to the future. I don't want to see Asian Cup qualifiers being used for experimentation. Say that our team was never ready. Yeah, agree. So therefore, I think if you ask me, I think he should play his best 11, who he thinks is best 11 at the moment, because he has to prepare for March. Okay, let's make it as I join the party. Yeah, Abhishek, fine with that. John or Rambe are still invested in ISL. Why don't the other rich people try to do something by appointing experienced people and give them money to do? So I'm sure they will take care of the grassroots. Kohli, nice thought, but it's not happening, right? So that's the reality. Why not play Sahal Abdul Samad? Because he's not in the squad, Vagabond. Money is power, otherwise Arab. Yeah, but money is not everything. Some other people will tell you. Today I saw a post regarding VR and ISL. From that post, I came to know that Bhutan has VR Lite in the league. Is it true? Bhutan has a version of a VR Lite. Has a VR Lite version which they utilize in their league. But again, it's one stadium technology, Thimpur, at that stadium where East Bengal just played. So therefore, that's the reality. Arnav says they've been winless for a year, so the question remains, can they break the deadlock against Malaysia? Arnav, that's the whole point. That is what I'm talking about. We need to, we need to be clear about those things, that the team needs to get a certain habit, get a certain mentality, and it doesn't have that mentality at the moment. And therefore, that's the challenge. That's the challenge going forward, pushing forward, and trying to get to some sort of level, right? That's the challenge that we have. Sorry. Mohanbagan gameplay is completely different. Mumbai City FC, Pia Kumar. But again, you said he's not doing his job. Let's see. Coaches talk about physicality in the Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthani. People are blessed with physicality, improve their skills and tactics. Shan, it's not so easy. It's not, it's not science in a way. So it's much more complex. Semboy signed for FC Goa. No, Semboy signed for Dempo. He didn't signed in the I-League. What's your thoughts? Abhishek, striker, again, certain level, hasn't been able to cross that. Has had a few goals in the ISL over the years. I heard a few weeks ago that a player from Northeast, maybe Mizoram or Nagaland, playing in Thai third division, has been scoring goals. XYZ, a player from Nagaland, has gone to Thailand playing third division. So yeah, nice for him, nice exposure for the boy. But again, Thai third division is not our standard when we talk about international football. Do you think we should stop playing hoofball and grassroots football like Germany does? In grassroots, we need structure. In grassroots, you have to have an organization. You have to have something that's, when we talk about these things, we always say that, this is missing, that is missing. Why is it missing? We don't know. And that remains the challenge for us, right? It's a huge challenge. It's not an easy challenge, but it's a huge challenge at the moment. And I think we need to do a lot more. And then it become, so therefore, yeah, that's something which will come around. What are Germany's international fixtures this window? XYZ, Germany's playing Bosnia Herzegovina and then Hungary in this window. Akash says, Shan, wrong opinion. Wrestlers from Area cannot play football. If physicality mattered, then Japan and Korea would have worse like us in football. Okay. So you should be chilling by the beach on a vacation. Thanks, Mourinho. I've done that actually in the little earlier. We'll do that again. This is my commitment to Indian football as always, guys. So yeah. So therefore, to support, to like, to subscribe, to share. 13 likes so far. We stand at 1,937 subscribers. So do come forward and support the channel. Thank you very much. Slowly closing in, 63 to go on the 2,000. So keep on supporting, guys, as always. Are we cursed in football? If we were, again, this cursed, or are we doomed, or whatever? Yeah. No. Hope is there. Right now, most of the best players in CFL are from Jungle Mahal, Mendipur. Look at their physique. But Akash, that's the problem, right? I think, if these are the best players, can you tactically, can you technically, can you from a mentality point develop these players to be international players and be players to challenge top level? I think no, if one is honest. And these are the problems. No one's looking at them. I think Apuya is the best Indian player in this ISL so far. His play don't get noticed that much, but without him playing like this, Mohun Bagan wouldn't be close to where they are in points table. Blue, I agree with you on this. Do you think the U17 players should step up their game World Cup match? I think some of them have peaked in their careers early, and therefore there is a certain level of downfall. Some of the players have peaked. Apuya is, I think, the best example. Wasn't a regular at the time. Has moved ahead. Yeah, we look at Suresh. We look at Anwar, Prabsukan. Again, other players like Dheeraj, Aniket Jadhav, Jitendra. Not to forget Komal Thatal. A lot of these boys have not really moved ahead. The main thing is we need to gather all our focus for U19, U23, and U20. And if these teams qualify for Asian Games and World Cup, then these boys can do miracles in national main team. No, Shan, they will not do miracles, right? That's the hope. So the point here is we need to have a development path from 16 to 21, and that's not happening. And therefore, for me, Asian Games is not really important. Asian Cup, under 17, under 20. We need to try qualify for these tournaments, as we used to do at under 17 level, at least under 20s. We've not qualified since 2006. Yeah, and then we can move forward. We're not cursed in football. Our lack of vision and management was and will be the problem. Akash, 100%. Our biggest problem. The management, vision, yes, and realistic vision and implementation. These are the things that, in my opinion, need to be looked at. But unfortunately, we don't have a U20 type league. Yeah, Shan, that is true. The 2006 World Cup being held in US is being heard that players from Iran and other countries haven't got any visa approvals, and Trump FIFA has been trying to contact them. But okay, uh, um, it's still 2024. Let teams qualify for the World Cup, and then we'll see. The difficulty is that you could try and steer it in such a way that some of these groups could be played in Canada and Mexico. Don't forget that. These two countries are also there. Ashish was saying FSTL contract with the AIFF will be same as Star with PKL. Interested to know that how he knows when there are no conversations happening on the matter. Very interesting. People are putting out a lot of stuff. Yeah, weird. What do you think about Muni? Is he better than Abbas? Subhash, always these comparisons. Abbas is the most successful coach in the history of the ISL, period. And all the others have to prove that they're either as good or potentially as good as Habas. Molina has also, been amongst winners. So therefore, that to me counts. But Habas is a very special coach, and let's see what he can do. Mourinho in real life still a crazy guy to think getting booked for showing the referee mistake in live TV. Okay, Abhishek. Honestly, we need a footballer with a common Indian name like Singh or Patel to shine in the national stage in club football, big player. Maybe then the government take notice. I don't think so. They're not bothered about football. Yeah. And the joke is Manveer Singh. Okay. Just imagine India didn't have any national league till NFL. Prime example, lack of vision, zero management. Yeah, gosh, 100%. I mean, it was in 1995, Sepp Blatter, as the secretary of FIFA, came to India and asked, why don't you have a national league? And the conversation was happening in 1995, and then in 1996 they started the league. So these are all realities of the things that where we struggle, where we don't really or haven't done the things that we need to do to really take Indian football forward, and therefore we're stuck where we are, and it's not getting better or it's going anywhere, right? If we do not have the vision, not the right management, this sort of vicious circle that we're stuck in will continue, right? We are where we were, and the challenge, or the challenges rather, not the challenge, the challenges remain, and it's the same complex situation. We need to do more. We need to do more. We need to do the right things, and that is not happening. Let's be honest about that. Right now, CFL has only 3 divisions. No, Akash, it has Premier, First, AB, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth. So I guess they've got seven at least, if not 8. Hi, Minroy, welcome back. What was saying that AIFF is playing games with FSL, that they will go out in the market, try for partner. At least AIFF will not get any. They will sign the contract for lower amount then. Yeah, Kumar, they're trying to do it with the I-League. And look at the mess that they are in. And there are 2 things. One is ISL, right, where Reliance is spending, plus the 50 crores. The AIFF need the 50 crores to run. Is Census Trophy helping to scout and highlight talent to ISL and I-League teams? What's your thought? No, it's not. It's just a state tournament, which to keep the state associations happy. BFC trying to sign an Indian winger, and Jan FC also looking for an Indian winger. Ajare likely to stay in Northeast United FC. Punjab want to keep Nihal on permanent deal. Okay, Minoy, let's wait and see. If all your, I don't know if you've gathered it from online sources or if these are your predictions, we'll see what potentially happens in January and next summer. Hi, Murali. Do you think we have never strengthened the system? Instead, we create more problems? Yeah. Odisha has some issues behind the scene operations. Hardware FC signed Karanjit Singh. He's been looking to place 3 foreigners. Ashish Negi. Okay, it's coming from Kiel now. Okay, interesting. Thanks for the info. Every policy of AFF from that 1995 was like plastering the dying body of the Indian football, also like winging it in real life. No, it's not. Abhishek, I think starting the NFL was the right step to professionalize the NFL and say, make it into the I-League was the right step. Reliance coming in, wanting to make the I-League into an ISL with clubs objecting, and then coming up with the ISL was the right step. So we need to look at these things and understand how they create leagues, how you run leagues, how you operate leagues, how you grow them. That's the challenge. And that's something which I feel, not the right work is happening. Just found that Indian origin player Nishan Velu Pillai is starting for Australia. Second consecutive game for him in such important games is class. What are we doing? Yeah. Vishal Kate deserved one chance. Let's see, Crystal John, what happens on Monday. Do you think after seeing what is going on in Federation and State FA doesn't function properly, player might lose interest playing football? No, why? They're earning a lot of money, Murali. For the players, it's about the money. The players don't care what the system is, right? You guys care more. I care more than most of these people. For a lot of people, it's about money. It's what happens to Indian football can go up for a toss. Doesn't matter. Hi, beneath Malaysians look more threatening than before. Yeah, could be the case. Let's see what they can do in Hyderabad against us. There should be clear path for the football development by AIFF. Unlike mythical vision like 2040 season, there should be checkpoint every 6 months instead of throwing PPTs. Yeah, but even checkpoints every 6 months doesn't make sense. They have to have realistic time frames. Hi Moinak, hope you're doing fine. There's one worse run governing body than the AIFF in India, and that's IFA. In few years from now, Bengal won't be even able to field team for Santosh Trophy. I think that will happen somehow. The question is if Bengal will get to the final stages of the Santosh Trophy. I think you could frame it a little differently, Moinak. But to me, there are a lot of these federations, state associations who need to really, really step up and be better. Mimar says today's match Malaysia 3, Laos 1. Did you ever see in Indian football we don't care attitude from federation but data reach to player? Do you think it is a ranger? As I said, the players is a different ball game. It's all about money, right? And so therefore these comparisons, in my opinion, don't work. Any news about VR? No. Crystal John? Nope. There is nothing because I know that you guys like to ask, what's the status on FSDL? What's the status on VAR? What's the status on this? What's the status on that? It doesn't change as quickly as you or I would like it to happen. These are realities of things. So yeah. AIFF Vision 2047 only work in their dreams. Kumar, vision is, if I look back again at Lakshya, the plan that Robban created in 2012, 13, 14. Great plan on paper. But again, Robban is someone who's been involved and built Dutch football. But again, we talk about the failure of implementation. So that's the issue. No VR will come just to hype fans. Yeah, beneath you guys get hyped. You ask the question. Therefore, again, as I say, if you haven't, I did a video. Is VR needed in Indian football? Have a look at it. I think it's a nice summary of things. The fall from grace of Indian football should be documented and studied at least. That could generate money for Indian football. Maybe AIFF makes it. Who's going to be interested? XYZ. I don't think there is an interest for something like that. Do you think it's hard to find investors in Indian football because of what is going on inside? If we should show results, can we attract or no way? Murali, there's still people willing to invest money into Indian football despite the situation, So, no, I don't think it's interrelated. Forget about VR, it's just another drama. Next week they will bring in some other news so everyone will go behind it. Agree. No, there is nothing. As I said, you ask all these questions, There's nothing happening. AIFF should rename the Vision 2047 to Blind Vision 2047 according to Beneath. AIFF has two things to help. Number one, VR, and number two, AIFF OTT. Okay, Akash. Ashish, we cannot use VR Lite because however uses more than 8 cameras in production. Cannot use VR Lite. Is this true? What? We cannot use VR Lite because normally VR also has own cameras, right? So therefore VR Lite has an own ban and system, different approach. If you've noticed, Ranav, AF only presents you Vision 2047 in bold letters into your face. They don't talk or present anything about Vision 2026 or 32, even though they are mentioned. Yeah, because the 2026 is already faded, right? So therefore, why would I highlight something where I have not delivered or I have not been able to deliver, right? That's the reality for the AIFF at this moment, right? That for them, it has not gone the way that they think or they would hope it would go for them, right? So that's where we stand. The AIFF is in a very sticky, very weak wicket on that front because Vision 2047, to reach that, you have to have short and midterm goals, and again, without implementation, you cannot get to those short or midterm goals. So short-term goals are failing already, or have fallen already, or failed already. And therefore, they need to work on the other things. Do you think in today's world, youngster might be misguided by selling fake dream and fancy tag, but reality kick them? Yeah. Let's wait and see. I guess misguidance is another problem in the system. But again, who's going to rectify it? Now that's the challenge in all of this. Now it's not something that you can stand there and make better out of the blue, right? Dreams are there. Youngsters have a lot of dreams, but yeah. Hi, Oritra. Well, we are asking for VR. The FIFA is now moving to FVR. As much as I've heard, FVR is more like DRS in cricket and much more cheaper and easier option, it seems. Don't know the accuracy of it. Yeah, they tried something out in the Youth World Cups. Not sure how it can be for leagues, but they're looking at ways because again, there's also they're looking at ways of maybe trying to improve, so therefore, let's wait and see what happens, so therefore, again, it's supposed to be a cheaper version, so let's see what it is. Hi, Dark Knight. We're not asking what's the difference between FES VR. Now, I will quote FIFA. Football video support is the answer to several requests that FIFA has received from those member associations that cannot implement the video assistant referee system because their human and financial resources are limited and very few cameras are in use in their competitions. Trialing video support in line with FIFA's commitment to exploring both existing and emerging technologies to positively impact the game, especially in order to help referees to make correct decisions while ensuring that their potential use is cost-effective, beneficial, and practical across the global football community. It also follows on the interest shown by the IFAB's advisory panels and decision taken at IFA's annual general meeting in March 2023 to approve the testing of a new approach to use of replay technology support referees during matches. So this FA system is a system which FIFA is considering and thinking of utilizing as a cheap alternative version. So it's not DRS, as Oritra said. It is a simplified version of VAR. AFF can document the failures by showing Vision 2047, how the federation not to make that vision. Okay, Kumar. Who will win the next Asian Cup? If it's Qatar's, then AFC is solidified fixes tournament. How are you saying that? Were you there in 2019 or 2024 for the 23 tournament to say that? See, again, you're making assumptions without knowing things. That's XYZ. Again, it's not only you, others have done that as well. Yeah, again, conspiracies. every day there is nothing positive we can talk about Indian football, right? Mahesh, come up with something positive. We'll talk about it, right? So that's the challenge, right? We're talking about a lot of things, but we're not talking about the positives. Yeah, which could should need to be there, but are they really there, right? That's the difficulty in when we talk about Indian football and where where the challenges lie, right? Where the challenges lie left, right, and center, and yeah, things are not improving the way we need to. Do you think in general countries struggling doesn't have proper development process? Countries that perform good have good structure in which equality matters. Um, Again, generalization, it doesn't matter. There are good federations where the country is not doing well. There are bad federations where the national teams are doing well. These generalizations morally don't work. In my opinion, they don't work. CFL is using goal line technology, but ISL, did the CFL actually use it? I don't think they did. And that's not a certified system, Crystal John. Do you think Belgium done well in strengthening and structure the system, but despite that, Belgium struggled in results? Yeah, if you ask me, yeah. Well, the only reason of saying FAS seem what's similar to DRS is that if you are aware in cricket, DRS decision lie on the captains of two teams and FS application ultimately is applied on two head coach. Or that's one idea, but the other idea is also to simplify VR with less technology. Qatar doesn't play or look like a champion Asian side. Their best player is Akram Afif and Almoez Ali. Other than that, getting smacked 3-1 by UAE at home and 4-1 by Iran. XYZ, they were playing a tournament at home. Again, you guys make allegations. Again, do you have any proof? Right? It's lovely to see those allegations, but there is no proof to it, right? If you can prove it, I'll agree with you. If you can't prove it, don't make these allegations out of the blue. The referee in itself can refer to it. That's what the Athletic has said about it in its recent news. So that's the source. Okay. When physical teams play, why they get 50-50 decisions by referee? I don't know what the question should be. Kumar, why? Every referee. The other problem is that every referee is different. Every referee takes his decisions according to his feel, desires, whatever we want to call it. And some will make decisions this way, some make decisions that way, but I don't think that 50-50 decisions go for teams who are physical. I don't know where you get that from. Not to forget 2-2 against Deepal. XYZ qualifiers are different. They were played the last Asian Cup at home, and I saw them in 2019. They were deserving winners. I personally think even if we have a budget for VR, I don't think our players and system deserve VR now, maybe later, but instead invest that money in grassroots. It's my point of view. Yeah, beneath. Good, but the money that would come in for VR, would it go to grassroots? Most probably not. It's like saying, listen, let's reduce the salaries of our top level players. Let's say 10% of the money that the club spend on the players goes into grassroots. Not going to happen. Do you think Indian football had more firepower when JJ, Chetri, Roman Singh, but when they retire, would have maintained? Murali, it looks like it. Australian draw against Saudi surprised. No, I wouldn't say that because I think the Australians have been struggling for a while. Yeah, 2019, they were good enough, 24 3 penalties in final. XYZ, and all of them can be given. That's the sad part of it, right? So therefore, you have no story on that. I know it's a long story, but if the AA saga continues for forever, can Mohammed Zubachan go to CAS for a decision, or they have to wait until a decision? Or the case is out of the logical space already. So therefore, I don't know if something will ever happen or if the case has died out. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen in the AA saga. If player doesn't make into ISL, can he earn decent or is he done? No, he can earn decent, of course. I-League clubs pay well. China Bahrain 1-0, says Mahesh. In my case, I do not like how they play. Okay, Kumar, that's your opinion. Right, already over an hour, guys. If you haven't, um, as always, do like, share, and subscribe. On foot here on YouTube, other social medias. Do leave a like behind. 16 so far. Share with others so others can join in. And 1,938. So we've got 62 to reach the 2,000 milestone, 2K. So hope, yeah. Ali clubs are threatening to boycott the league over AIFF's unfulfilled promise. Let's see, Subhash, what happens. Apart from football and sport to watch live, yeah, as I said, like Formula One, tennis, maybe a little bit of handball, basketball. That depends. Nothing happening in football, nothing to talk about. Yeah, but we're still talking, right? We've been talking over an hour. My expectation is that India need to play like they know how to play football is fine for me. Okay, but that's what they're doing. Anwar should disclose the number of his advocates. Other players will be happy to get that infinite money glitch without any consequences. Yeah. Any podcast will you do when it reaches 2,000 subscribers? Yeah, Kumar, thinking about doing stuff, but again, it's also about my travels and schedules. But I said, yeah, 2,000 plus is something that thereafter I'm thinking of reaching out to people and having more conversation. Yeah, that's something which I've said and which I of course stick to. Okay, express that. After signing Mohan, why Australia not call up Jimmy Clark national team? Because he's can't come to India like Jason Cummings before that. Now that do you consider F1 as a sport? Yes, more than 100%. It's one of the reasons why a lot of technology for cars have been developed is because of Formula One, because it's a high performance, um, you know, sport. To me, for example, Formula One is more sport than, let's say, I don't know, chess or archery or something of that sort, or shooting. Formula One is much more sport, and they have to be. I think Formula One drivers are amongst the fittest sports persons in the world, if you look at that. Did your friend is shocked when you're supporting Indian football, when a person from the football nation support India? No. Why should they be shocked, right? Um, they they might not. Why shock me? They might not even know that Indian football exists, right? So these are those. So no, they know. Most of my friends know, and what I've done, what my commitment has been to Indian football, and therefore that's there, that's out there, and that always will be there for me to support and try and push in the right direction, despite all the difficulties and weaknesses. Yeah, that's 100% there in my opinion. So I think that's something which I can do. By the way, is Sony still in talks about iLeague broadcast? Blue, the funny one is, I thought it was done. It was even reported by certain people as done, and then something, whatever, I don't know what, something cropped up, and suddenly we're discussing it again. So I don't know where we stand on that. Jimmy Clan performance dropped hugely. That is the reason he was dropped from the Australia team. That is the reason he jumps on bandwagon of money. I don't know if his performance dropped. Um, he was also injured at the start of the season. Yeah. XYZ says chess community is huge and they would take notice, or now let them take notice. I've just said what I think, and again, I don't care what other people think or not think. That's my opinion, and I stick to that. By the way, I heard that most sweating happens in chess. One player can lose 29, 30 pounds while playing 5 hours of chess. Don't believe you. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, to me that doesn't work. Sorry. You said we have decent infrastructure, but lower level player doesn't get it properly. Even their travel schedule and training is under the class weird stories. Murali, you have to overcome the challenges at whatever level, and you have to live with what you have. Good quality, bad quality. Um, to me, that's something that we need to always keep in mind, right? Not everything will be world class, but yeah, so that's the reality. Is there some truth in this boycott of I-League teams, Roshan? Not sure. Yeah, it is about broadcasting. We've spoken about it a few times in the last hour. Um, yeah, so therefore, let's wait and see what the teams do or decide, because yeah, a boycott only hits them at the end of the day, right? Schedule will be more cramped, questions will be asked, and can they fulfill things? That's the challenge I think that they will then face. I read, sorry, I read report from Australian page. They clearly showed numbers. Kumar, it is numbers, right? Um, beat in India, beat in Australia, beat in other nations. Um, coaches sometimes don't even look at these numbers. They look at, what's the field, what's this, what's that, and then they pick players. So yeah, numbers are nice to have as an addition. Do you think Odisha contribute good sports, especially they transformed in hockey? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Can we see India as among powerhouse in hockey? Yes, that we can truly say. Chess is a mind game. If it's a sport, then other esports will also be in conversation anyway. It's fun. Yeah, Blue. Esports is becoming Olympic. In one YouTube, only 2 live streams at a time can be done, right? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. Let's put it this way. Abhishek wouldn't know if that actually works. I mean, I know I'm doing a live now, but could you do one in parallel? I don't think we could do. I could do it one in parallel, right? I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's possible. Right. 1 hour and 1 hour 8 minutes gone. Um, I saw an I-League YouTube channel. They did 2 live streams of I-League 3. Maybe they can do it. I'm not sure. Again, AIFF maybe has some working relationship with Google and is able to do that via their platform. Used to think Chobe will be better than Praful, but yeah, he's worse than. That's just really poor treatment for I-League and its clubs. Rushabh, it, it's the reality. That's the reality of things, right? Do you think certain best kept out of squad because he doesn't fit the system? Yeah, well, it can happen. I consider F1 a luxury sport. Those who have the most resources, the best technology always wins. Like Hamilton just kept on dominating. It became boring until Verstappen arrived. Yeah, but again, the others tried to catch up and they couldn't catch up, right? And again, it's for automobile technology. Formula One is a very, very, very important key aspect, key element of development. That is something which is there because it is done in the sport, right? Which um, otherwise wouldn't have happened. How do you keep supporting a sinking ship for 2 decades? Because when it's not always a sinking ship, right? You might feel it, and I guess I say I'm trying to do stuff in the background which will help to improve things. If will it, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I still am trying, right? So from that perspective, that's the reality of things, and therefore, yeah, it's not over. It's not over, and the difficulties remain. The difficulties will remain. Um, but the challenge stays to try and change things for good and not just talk about it. Talking about it is nice. What we're doing is nice. It's just having a conversation. But to change things is when you get active, when you do things, and that's what I do. Word in news that Germany had internet issue. How far is it true? I don't know where you got that news from. Hats off another. I hope that we'll see light at the end of tunnel soon. Hope it's a big thing. Yeah, let's hope so, Daniel. Can India conduct F1 racing despite less land available? Morally, India has hosted Formula One. You know, um, in the past. I mean, I was even there when they hosted the first F1 race in Greater Noida. Government collapsed. I see what's going on in Europe. Do you get affected by these issues? No, XYZ, I don't. What do you think? Will Edmund get more minutes, or is he just going to make a cameo? Rishabh hasn't played competitive football, so that's the first thing where I worry about him. Has been training. I saw him training at Interkashi when I was in Calcutta. But yeah, again, it's up to Manolo. Until AIFF is declared bankrupt, till that we can have hope. I think the federation somehow will always survive, if we like it or not. But it's possible, and yeah, it's going to be always a challenge. Is there an end to federation in any part of the world? Did it happen anywhere? It's happened in other sports. Look at boxing, look at wrestling at the moment. Yeah, it's happened. Budh circuit, yeah, the Budh circuit. Yeah, that's what it was called in Greater Noida. AIFF would never go bankrupt, says XYZ. Okay. Do you think people have unwanted criticism against the AIFF, like they tell all the people inside is corrupted, but realistically there are a lot of good people also inside it? Yeah. Then the generalization, the thing, what I also feel people think they know and they don't know anything. Sorry to say that sometimes, right? I'm being blunt, being honest on that. People think they know and understand things, and actually they don't have a clue of how things run and are operated. And I think that in my opinion is the biggest challenge in all of this. Apart from sports, when you're about India, how do they review India and Germany? Because you said they don't know India. Murali, again, it's perceptions, I guess, is a lot what people have about other countries and other people. When will AIFF elections be held? No idea. Do you think Chinese Super League affected by COVID? If not, it would have become another Saudi league. Not sure. The question of money comes in, right? COVID, of course, has affected the Chinese Super League or Chinese football in general. But would the CSL be different? Not sure. Do you think FSDL and Reliance literally made a lot of coaches and players rich? Not only them. It happened at a lower standard, a lower level. It's happening in the I League. It happened in the I League. It happened in the NFL. So the system is like that, right? Because we're not producing better quality, which is pushing out those who are not good enough. Why don't the good people inside the system take control from the bad people inside the system, or are they powerless and would never be able to change the system? Idealistic approach, XYZ, in my opinion. There are good people. They have to survive in the system. And it's not so easy to come and say, listen, you know what, we want to change things, we want to improve things, we want to do this, we want to do that. Sadly, it doesn't work that way. It's not so easy to try and change things. And that's again and again, I say, the biggest challenge, I think, in Indian football, to try and change things. If election doesn't happen in proper time, can AIFF and FIFA take action? Yeah, it is about the AIFF, right? So this is at the moment an interim body. So from that perspective, FIFA, yes, at the right time can take action if they want to, and that most probably would be, a warning at the start, and then FIFA could probably step in and pronounce a ban. Do you think if a couple of state FAs do things properly, we could easily be in a good place? Mizoram has been doing a lot of things right over the last 15 years, but still, why not better, right? With one or two states, it's not enough. It has to be bigger, it has to be better, and it has to be pan-India on certain things. As I say, grassroots, youth football, coaching, competitions, these things need to be sorted in a bigger level. Chinese league's downfall was inevitable. I mean, just look at the US. They're not a good national team, hypothetically. If they played in AFC, they still be mediocre. I don't think so, Rishabh. I think the US, um, look at the MLS, and Chinese league's downfall was not that, it was not happening. Do you think exposure is missing for Indian player at young age? When we host big event, only then will send abroad rest time, no exposure? I wouldn't say that, because I think our under 17s over the years got quite a bit of exposure. But has it brought something? That's the challenge. I think that has it made a difference? And that is something which is not happening, right? The thing is the thing is fear spread fast. So the Indian football news are like this, and they are getting views out of it. They have views out of it. People talking about it. People are not willing to take the action that is needed to rectify the mistakes, right? That we are willing to do the things. Yeah. You felt like we lack passion to play for the Indian badge? Not in the past. At the moment, I sometimes feel so. I think um, players are about themselves, and that is, in my opinion, a huge, huge challenge. How to turn it around, and I'm not sure. It's difficult. It's tough, but we will have to find means and ways to turn it around. Keep them coming. Keep them throwing at me, guys. If you have more, otherwise, yeah. Let's see. Do you think playing friendly is different for major tournaments? Likewise with Syria, they are beast in AFC. Yeah, friendlies are friendlies. Again, even if we look at the Kings Cup last year, where we draw Iraq 2-2, look at that Iraq and look at Iraq at the AFC Asian Cup in January. Two different teams. Coach Brad also said we have a poor quality coaching in all sorts of levels. Renal, I've been saying this for a while as well. This is not new. What are your closing thoughts for Asian Cup qualifiers and for Malabo for his main objective? Knowing from history, even if India doesn't qualify, Manal won't be sacked. I'm not sure if he won't be sacked because his contract is for that matter. So to me, Manolo has to prove himself, showcase himself. The team are also, I think the players need to be questioned, and they need to perform. So to me, it's not only Manolo, it's the team, it's the players, it's everyone involved who have to showcase themselves and do better. And therefore, that's something of a challenge we have with everybody involved. And therefore, I hope that the Indian national team can play better in the end. Hi, reporter Fekul Gupta. I came from Tripura, which has a decent indigenous population, leaned more towards football and not cricket, but there is no way forward. That's also a problem in certain parts of the country, right? I agree to that. Where are you in a new place? Abhishek, I'm actually in Spain and Mallorca at the moment. We'll be here for the next 3 days. And besides work and holiday, I am doing this live with you guys from my hotel room. Yes, Renil, these players do lack the passion. It's different to Dallas because most of them come from humble background, but yeah, money does get inside them. It seems to be a real problem. I think money is a problem at the moment, where it's not helping us to evolve and develop, and that is, I think, the biggest challenge. Where, yeah, and there is something missing, there is something lacking, and that is that evolution is something which needs to happen. There has been no player who even made it to second division also from here, apart from doing well in Subrata Cup a decade ago with an overage team. Okay. Do you think Baladevi, Manisha Kalyana brought to shape their career even Aditi? Yeah, 100%. Look at Manisha has become much, much better. Bala went, I guess, too late. And then there was COVID. And again, Aditi also with studies helped Loughborough and West Ham. Yeah. Manisha 3-1 Laos. Yes, Madan, we've spoken about it. Steve Abad said India has much better compared to Mali, but coaching here is below par. I couldn't agree to that. Yeah, I think Mali, again, yes, we have better infrastructure, I guess. I think that's what you're talking about. But overall, Mali is better, much better, right? Much more better than us. So that's the challenge. That if we want to compare ourselves to those, difficult, not happening in my opinion. Not happening in my opinion. It's a huge challenge. Follow not to be sacked. He has to make India team start winning a major tournament, not only in South. Sort of his main aim, yeah, is to qualify for the AFC Asian Cup. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. Below par infrastructure. Yeah, infrastructure in Africa, in most of Africa, most of South America, Central America is worse than ours. So that's a reality, right? That's a reality which we need to accept. And that's something which we need to keep in mind. And that's something which we need to change, because otherwise it won't happen, right? Is Ranji Bajaj profitable with his academy? It must take a lot of courage to put that money into the system. I would not be able to tell you that. I don't know. 40 Nation World Cup would be a chaos. Cannot wait for 2026. So many games. Hope it's a new nation being crowned world champions like Colombia, Uruguay. They won 2 Olympics. Uruguay is 2 times World Cup winner. XYZ. You know. Do you think PO player made underdog team better? Yeah, 100%. No, I wouldn't say underdog teams. I would say weaker sides have improved because of the involvement of players of origin. So yes, it is. Can you tell anything about Malaysia football coach? Spanish guy. 1 second, let me just check. I was reading up something about him. A friend had sent me something. Just let me check. Yeah. Pao Marti Vicente, appointed in the summer, young coach, and let's wait and see what he can do with the team. Punjab FC in Delhi FC in Punjab. Wow, it happens only here. The problem is for Punjab FC that they don't have infrastructure in and around Punjab for them to be able to play ISL, and Delhi FC, yeah, are not pushing things in Delhi because of problems between Delhi FC and the Delhi Football Association or Delhi Soccer Association. I've seen some of the academies in Gambia. They're literally an AstroTurf with a small residency, but they're producing Euro quality players. See, that's the thing. Yeah, but Euro say the 2 stars on that badge represent the Olympic gold medals they won. Okay, interesting. Haven't heard that. What was Selangor's quality compared to India when they signed Baichung? He didn't play for Selangor, he played for Perak. And the quality at the time was better than the I-League, NFL. When I'm coming home, everybody doing fine. Yeah, everybody's fine. I'm here on Sunday, I'll be back home. Perak. It was Perak, yeah. I think we don't have quality human resource for developing Indian football. Back night, big problem. Hi Vikram, good match between North Korea and Iran shows how far behind we are. North Korea played very well against tops and we're even struggling against weaker teams. Yeah, Vikram, sad reality. So Dhanraj made this video on PAOs, and here why can't we just accept the fact that PAOs will never play for a national team? Just leave this topic. Rushabh, I don't think it should be left because again, I've been trying to work on this topic now for nearly 24 years. I will try to see if we can change things one day. And that challenge remains. So let's wait and see what we can do. World Cup, those Olympic wins, World Cup wins, okay. Then they would have to have 4 stars. India not performing well because of individual quality or lack of development process. China, USA, because this country rarely come top 5. Morally, we are not a sporting nation at the moment, and this is what it needs to change. Vicky says he has 2003 season with Selangor, 5 matches, 3 goals. I knew he played for Perak. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he was Perak. Joy, Mohun Bagan or Joy Bengal. For me, Vishal, family roots and all. It's more East Bengal than Mohnbagan. 2000, what? 2005. Okay. Okay, interesting. Didn't realize Bhutia played for Selangor. Okay. I knew I knew Perak. It seems to okay, 2005. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Didn't skip my mind most probably. Right, 1 hour 25 minutes. Maybe another 5 more minutes to go, and then we'll end 90 minutes of this live on a Thursday evening, November the 14th. As I said, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot, yeah, on YouTube. And as always, let's grow the community. Let's have these discussions. Let's talk about these things. 22 likes so far. Thank you very much. And 1,938 still. So yeah, we're moving towards that figure slowly and steadily. And also watch the other videos. So let's see. Do you think Germany has good sports science development process? Yes, morally we do. What is standard of ISL stadium? Abhishek, I think the standards of stadiums, some of them are really good, even if they're smaller, and some of them are really bad. You know, Kantirava needs a dramatic overhaul. Kochi, Kalur needs an overhaul. So all these stadiums are at different stage of utilization, I would say, right? So that's what you could call a challenge, and therefore, to me, if you ask me, yeah, some of them are good, some of them are not, as anywhere else in the world, I guess. Are the players even interested? What happens if the clubs get to know the players play for India and he gets complicated for signing for better clubs and his career is possible? The players are interested. I'm in touch with multiple players. They would love to play for India. The similarities I find with Indian football and Tripura cricket, there's a lack of role models to break through and have bigger dreams. Okay, reporter Faker Gupta. Do you watch boxing? Do you think India has past glory in boxing, but right now downfall? No, I don't. I'm not a boxing fan, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that. Indian competition being unable to break through. Yeah, these players are not patriotic as our players here. Even if they lack passion at times, if given a choice, they'll always choose their birth country. Omid Singh said it openly. He would choose Iran. Again, generalizing, Praship, I know a lot of players, and I know a lot of players who want to play for India. And I think, as someone who's of origin, I think people of Indian origin sometimes are actually more patriotic than people in India. Again, controversial statement, but I feel that because people don't understand that. If you see, let's say, my commitment off the field for Indian football, I've seen no one else in the world do what I've done. Sorry, I'll be arrogant on this. All these people are saying, I do this, I do that, I claim this, I claim that. BS. You care about your own pockets, you care about yourselves. I will never be able to recoup the amount of time, effort. Forget the money part. The money part, you know, if I would add up numbers, I can run an I-League club what I've spent on Indian football over the last 25, 26 years. These are realities. Hi, Manolo. You've got an exam coming up. Okay. Good. But all the best for that exam. Strategy to broadcast I-League. Let's see if they can do that on their OTT platform. Sorry, what does expect? They want a team to get a standard stadium to host our expert. Infrastructure, accessibility, there are certain things. Do you think Kerala Stadium has completely different vibe compared to other stadiums? Can Kerala host FIFA matches? Yeah, it has a different vibe, but Kolkata has its own vibe, Mumbai has its own vibe, Bangalore has its own vibe, Chennai has its own vibe, and again, yeah, India in general could host World Cup matches. Why is Ranchi investing in Indian football? Manoj, that's a good question which I can't answer for you. Very simply said. So for me, that is something which is a reality, right? Which is a reality. There are people who are investing into Indian football, and you don't know why. Conflicts of interest is also there. I don't know. The day we get bullied by Pakistan because of their dual citizenship players, the government make it a nationalistic issue and push the propaganda. It's all soft power. Let's see. What a point. Let's see. I think this thing is a common among African countries. They get their origin players when they don't have any chance to play for their birth country. Some of them even decide to play for African countries before, not all of them. Again, generalization doesn't work, Rishabh. I know players who decided to play for countries in Africa, in Asia, in South America, ahead of the countries that they were, born in. Do you think the other player had better development process structure than why they have it? That's why they have, edge over Indian players, 100%. 100%. Murali, that's not even a point to discuss. They are much, much better on that front. Do you think the running tracks in between fields and crowd in most stadiums make the viewing experience less? Don't think so. You have them in some stadiums, like the Salt Lake Stadium. I think it's also a security issue, and therefore that needs to be kept in mind. So therefore, it has its values with that. You said we never produce Asian level player. Can we say 2002 U17 had Asian level player? No, they're not, because they use 17 players, right? So that's not Asian level player. For me, Asian level player would have to be a senior level player. Right, I will slowly come to an end and head for dinner over here and then head out to the beach, guys, in Mallorca. I don't know, I'm not sure if I can do it tomorrow, but I'll try and do tomorrow or day after another live, maybe at a different time. Maybe let's see how I can factor it in. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube, on my other social medias. Watch the other videos, as I said. Did a video on Manolo and what should be his focus and priorities, and watch the other videos. Ajare, nearly 1,000 views. And I'll be back in the coming days. Keep supporting Arunfoot. Like, share, and subscribe. Good night. Bye.